So Gary, your life's been sort of picked up and moved in the last few months. You spend so much time at a footy club and put your heart and soul into it. What's it like to just move your whole life from one club to another? How's the last few months been? Is it unsettling, hard work?
Yeah, I would say it got to us pretty much like it was a pretty quick move. Leaving Sydney, then moving in here, and I found, me and my wife found it went pretty quick. But yeah, it was a hard decision, kind of, in a way, but I think it's the right decision I've made so far.
So to leave the Swans, I mean, they're famously tight-knit, the players. You were very popular there. You've had 9 seasons. What's it like to sort of walk out the door, because you've played in a grand final there, had great success? How tough is that?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Like, I was still going into finals, and my manager kept asking me if I'm happy at the club. I'm going, yeah, I'm still happy. But when he kept saying that, I felt like something was going to happen, and I think, yeah. So, and then they lost against the Giants, and then we had our meetings with the coaches, and my manager rang me before I was heading in and said, mate, they're thinking about might move you on if you're happy and that kind of stuff. And I didn't really think much of it, and so I walked in, and yeah, I pretty much said, I'm not coming here to say I want to leave, but if you guys don't want me here, I'm happy to look at other places. And the only club I gave them was Geelong, because it's a great club, great successful club, and obviously I buried from growing up and living down here. So I walked in there, and then pretty much they just said, all right, we'll get on to Geelong and we'll get back to you. And then I left there and kind of was up in the air, and it was pretty weird. Obviously 9 years there, and I felt like, yeah, pretty much just said, there's the door, see you later.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it was just because of injuries and everything that was happening, and but yeah, it was pretty hard at the time. And then what really annoyed me was when the trade and that all happened, they came out and said, he wanted to go back for family reasons and that kind of stuff, and that really hit me and my wife pretty hard. I think, like, obviously they couldn't say that, we wanted to trade him, but that really hurt. Obviously being at the club for 9 years, and great family and support and everything up in Sydney. But as soon as that happened, I went straight into moving here. Great opportunity, new life, seeing life on things, and but as soon as I've walked in the door, I reckon it's the best decision I've made. It's just like little things that, different way to train, and different views on things have sparked me up and got that enjoyment back.
Just going back to that moment where you realise that, it's a harsh reality. It's bloody tough. There's not many jobs where someone just says, look, we sort of don't want you anymore. I mean, how does that make you feel? It's a pretty brutal thing, isn't it?
It is pretty, like, it hit me pretty hard. Like, obviously, I still had 2 years there, but it was pretty hard. Like, obviously, you think you're still your friends with everybody, but it's just an industry that you're in, and obviously, going forward, they couldn't see me part of the club, and I've got the door and come down here, but yeah, I'm loving it down here. And
so you've got a fresh start here at Geelong now. Your career, you've had obstacles. There's been quite a few injuries along the way. How are you going so far with your body?
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Like, you'd string 7 reasonable good games together, and then you might do a hammy, and it just, those times it just gets competitive. Keeps doing it, and you just keep going, why? And you keep going to see people about why is happening, and then broken leg, and that kind of hit me pretty hard. And then so it does test you at times, especially my wife tested her a couple of times, as in, like, injury wise. Plenty of times, like, this game's just, my body's just not ready for this game. And it just keeps sticking at it, just family and friends around it keep on top of me and pushing me through. And then get here, and I've had a full pre-season. I haven't had one of them since 2012, since I broke my leg. So I'm feeling really good. My body's feeling great. Just since since I come down here, I'm just new. I feel like I'm a new person.
You mentioned that broken leg. Unfortunately, that's something that we all just will always remember about you. It's amazing that 6-7 years later, you still can't just do a full pre-season up until now. What effect did that injury have on you, I guess, emotionally and physically? Can you talk about how it restricted your training through your whole career, and then I suppose there's maybe some scars that it left mentally, because it happened to you when you're pretty young?
Yeah, so I had a good pre-season in 2012. Played the first 4 games and then obviously went down with a broken leg. Following that year, they won the grand final. And there's a lot of questions in my head going, what if this happened? And I could have been a premiership player. I could have been playing 150 games by now. All these things creep in, and then a lot of times you think, oh, why has it happened to me, and that kind of thing. And then it was a slow road 2 years back, grinding out. Plenty of times you thought about giving up. Just things weren't going my way. The leg was hurting all the time. I'd come back in the reserves at the Swans and I'd do a calf or a hamstring, and ever since I broke the leg, I'd had these soft tissue injuries all the time, and wasn't sure if it's connected or they weren't sure, but it got really frustrating, and it was probably a good test to myself, how things come my way and I can hit the challenge head on and keep pushing forward. And I think it was just the great support around me that got me through those tough times. And but fingers crossed that all that's left up in Sydney, and I've come down here and started a new phase, and I feel like I'm walking into the club, into the AFL system for the first time, so I'm really enjoying it.
The last 12 months has been a tough one for you and your wife. You've sort of experienced the greatest joy in the world, and then but with a bit of heartache in there as well. I mean, how important was it to you to get back to be surrounded by family and friends as you begin this phase of life as a dad, as a parent?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I still struggle to these days with the loss of Willow, but just having the great support around me down here with obviously family and school friends a bit closer, and there's a massive help. Just the familiar faces and that kind of thing. It's a massive help, and like as soon as I can't thank the Sydney Swans enough. Like John Longmire and the crew up there, that with that tough time going through, it was a pretty tough time for me and my wife, and obviously living out of state. They came around pretty quick and helped us along the journey, and I couldn't thank them enough that got us through, and obviously the playing group that I was with 24/7. They really lifted me up and lifted my spirits up, and pushed me through that hard time. But like I said, I still struggle at the moment with Low. Like the girls will be one coming up soon, so that's going to be a tough time. And little things I always go in and talk to her, Ern, and that kind of stuff. And like we're always going to be parents of twin girls, and the 5 hours we had with Willow was one I'm never gonna forget. And Bella's going well, and I love being a dad. It's get home, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. You must be pretty proud though, even though you had those challenges. The fact that, I mean, you're a 100-game player. You're still only in your mid to late 20s. Like, you've got a lot of years ahead. There must be a bit of pride there that you have pushed through a lot of setbacks, and you've still got a great career ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself, and I'll probably look on that when I retire. All the challenges I've had, and I've kept pushing forward, and I could tell my kids one day that if things pop up, just hit them head on, and don't let the challenge get over you.